When you are multiplying radicals, it's important that you notice that the index be the same on the radicals you're multiplying. So I'm just going to tell you that you must have the same index. Now, as far as what you multiply together, you just multiply the a and the b inside together to get AP. It's not like addition where you have to have a common radicand. So I'm just going to say multiply the radicands together. Now, let me make a connection for you comparing these to fractions. When you add fractions, you need a common denominator. When you add radicals, you need a common radicand. When you multiply radicals, you do not need a common denominator. When you multiply radicals, you do not need a common radicand. So there is a connection here that you can make with fractions to help you remember the rules. Now, when you multiply, very simply, you're going to say root 3 times root 2 makes root 6, multiplying the insides together. On the second example, you multiply the outside numbers together and you multiply the inside numbers together. On the outside, 5 times 7 is 35, and on the inside, 2 times 11 is 22. I like to say it's kind of like belly buttons. You have innies and outies, and the innies stay with the innies and the outies stay with the outies when you do your multiplication. For problem number 3, outside we have a 7x times a 3x making 21x squared, and then inside 5 times 10 makes 50. But in this case, the 50 can be broken down. That is 25 times 2. The 25 is a pair of 5s. That pair of 5s will multiply a single 5 times the 21 out in front, giving you 105x squared with the root 2 left over inside. Number 4, same thing. Outside, 3a squared b and 2ab. Multiplying, we get 6a to the third b to the second. Inside, the 6ab and the 3a give us 18a squared b. But that can be broken down. That 18 is a 9 times 2, and the 9 is a pair of 3s. So that pair of 3s will multiply as a single 3 coming out with the 6 to give us 18 on the outside. We have a pair of a's which will come out, multiply out front with the a to the third, making a to the fourth. Then we've got the b to the second. Left over inside the radical is the 2 and the b. So root 2b. When you multiply number 5, there's two ways of looking at the problem. Way number 1, since there is a single term inside the parentheses, that 2 out front can shower inside and give you 16 root 4. And that root 4 becomes a 2, and you have 16 times 2, which is 32. Option number 2 is you could write that as 4 root 2 times 4 root 2, and that would then give you the 16 root 4, which would break down into the 32. After you've got multiplication down, we then move on to distribution problems. The 3 root 2 outside the parentheses will multiply by the two terms inside the parentheses. It was that plus inside the parentheses that told us we had a binomial there, and that's what told us we had distribution to do. So we've got 3 root 2 times 4 root 2 makes 12 root 4. And then the 3 root 2 times the 7, that 7 is an outside number with no radical attached. That 7 multiplies by the 3 and gives us 21 root 2. That square root of 4 is a 2, making that a 24. Bring down the 21 root 2, and that is your simplified answer.